Well, this is perhaps slightly embarrassing, but I actually was Nicole Kidman's lover on television. I was her first lover, I think, on television. I gave her first screen kiss in a television series called Vietnam way back in the 80s, when I think she was actually only about 15, I think, but we don't want to go there. I am, and this is very embarrassing, I am scared of spiders and sharks. I know most people are, but I've been bitten about 5 times by spiders and been hospitalised several times. I absolutely loathe spiders, and I live on the Central Coast in New South Wales, and there are spiders everywhere. Every time you pick up a rock, there's a spider I can't stand. It's always a difficult question. The Long Goodbye by Raymond Chandler, I think. It's where I really started with crime fiction, with which I've been obsessed all my life, and written about it for the last almost 15, no, actually longer, almost 30 years for the Australian newspaper. Well, I'm an old 60s person, probably the band. I still remember those songs as the 60s. In fact, the 60s, we didn't get the 60s in Australia. We didn't have the 60s. We watched the 60s on television. The 60s didn't come to Australia until the 70s. We watched the 60s in black and white. But the band were there. Those songs just seemed to represent Californian life in so many different ways. Well, Raymond Chandler's Philip Marlowe would be the character I'd like to be, sitting around a gun in my pocket, talking to absolutely fabulous looking chicks in LA. Did you really work with Graham Kennedy? I was obsessed with Graham Kennedy as a kid, and to actually get the chance to do 2 movies with him and to know him personally is one of the most interesting things that's happened in my life. My grandfather, Pop Stanger, was a great influence on me. He was the one who started me on paperback. He used to swap crates of crayfish, which he caught on the back beach, for boxes of paperback books that he got at a place called the Quarantine, where people from overseas used to have to go and wait before they were actually allowed into Melbourne. So he was a great influence. He started me on books. Anything of James Lee Burke's. Calipigium. I think that's how you pronounce it. There are some words you look at that you have never pronounced alive, but it actually means a beautifully rounded pair of buttocks.